Hello, it is Lord Hayward. I'm streaming on a Friday. I took the day off work. I didn't want to work. I mean, when do I ever want to work? I was telling my friends that I want to die at the job I have because, man, looking for a new job sucks, and it does the job, but I also don't want to work. You guys know what I mean. I want to not work ever, but I have a bunch of vacation time, so I need to take it. So I took the day off, and I was like, well, now I'm bored. Like last night, I was pre-bored. Is that even possible? Pre-board, not pre-boarding like on an airplane. I was bored ahead of time. Like tomorrow, I'm gonna be bored, and I was like, I'll just fucking stream in the morning, like normal. I do have like a tree person, like not like an int, but like a arborist coming at 2 o'clock. So I usually don't stream more than 3 hours though. So that's unlikely to happen. Anyways, what the hell am I doing? This is a 2D 4X game that I'm working on. I'm working on for quite a while now. It's open source. It's inspired by like Dominions and CK3, Paradox Games, Victoria 3, I guess. It wasn't inspired by that when I started because I never played Victoria 3, but I didn't know that my game was so similar to Victoria 3 with building things, whatnot. The main difference being I don't know if this will run right now, actually. And I also think I'm on the wrong scene to start. But the main difference being that we're keeping track of every single person that is in the world. And the way oh, you can't make it run. Oh yeah, we lowered that. We were trying to figure out why this one bug was happening. The bug is if you hit save right here, it throws all these weird errors. But we reduced the number of people, but because we're going to keep track of every single person, it has to take place, after apocalypse or something, because there's be too many people to keep track of. When I say keep track of everyone, we're talking about skills and all that stuff. So last time we worked on save game stuff, and like if we were going to export it to JSON or save it as a resource, we have some. I should have went here ahead of time. I did some stuff. I did prepare a little bit. So we have currently in the saves folder this resource. So this is our faction. There's currently only 4 test factions. They're color coded here, and this saves them all. And so there's some things I want to do, and I also like the part of this whole thing is that, I like to like test things and just try to figure things out. Like I'll do things, especially on my other game. Man, I've been doing some crazy shit over there. But like I'll look online how to do something, and then I'll be like, well, that's cool and all, but can I do it this other way? And so I like to test things just to learn to see how things work. I'm that way with video games too. I think learning how to play a strategy game is like part of the fun of playing a strategy game. I try not to look stuff up. I guess it's not 100% true. I've been playing E4 again after a lot of time, so I had to look stuff up because I couldn't remember how to do shit. But I was playing Ethiopia, and I was actually doing quite well. But I didn't know about a certain mechanic that Ethiopia had about decentralized nation or whatever they're calling it. And man, now I feel like I don't want to play Ethiopia anymore. I was like taking over the world. Anyways, so this is the same game when we save it as a resource, and so there's a bunch of different ways. And over the past week since last stream, I've looked up a bunch of different ways to save things and what everyone's opinion are or is, and I really don't like the options. I don't like the options at all. It's kind of, I don't know how to say it, crappy. So this is the way the easy way is to save this. So we save the faction data as a we use the resource saver and we save this here, and so like it has everything. Like this is some county stockpile of goods, 0 on whatever. This is probably a county improvement, yeah. And like all the infos here, we could probably encrypt this if we wanted to, so that the players can fuck with their save games. Though I'm not really against that, but I want to add multiplayer eventually, and I think you should be trusting the people you play with, but what if you play with strangers on the internet? You know, they could be fucking with their save game. But I also think that, like, I watched some videos on the Civ cheaters, and I mean, people are gonna do it if they really want to do it. So anyways, I don't know. We'll worry about that later, but I did like preemptively look up like how do we encrypt the save game if we need to, just to make sure that it's possible, and it wouldn't be that difficult to add. Like we don't have to tear everything out to redo it, and it's not gonna be that hard. But it's also, they always, it's always suggested to put like, because you have to have a password to encrypt stuff so that you can unencrypt it, and you like put that in with the code, so it kind of seems pointless to me. Because if you're putting a plain text password, I don't know. Anyways, and I guess you can salt things. I don't know. Anyways, so this is one option, is we can save it like this, or we can save it like a JSON. I have a test, and I actually, in my other game, this is a example of just the equipment, which the equipment is a Godot list. Godot collections array here, and so this is what it looks like in my other game. This is all the different equipment, and in my other game the crew is equipment, and this is like the default. These are, so these, I was like, man, I'm gonna have to change this so that it says like none, but currently this is the default. So even though this is a crew member, and this is an enum, so the enums get changed into a string, which I thought was interesting, and I was glad, because I was like, holy shit, dude, is it going to change all my enums into numbers? But anyways, so this is another way to save it, and actually this is probably more readable than this. Honestly, like this is, what is this? You know what I mean? Like, and then you have to probably reference like this somewhere. You have to search for like this probably. No, you don't search for that. See, the whole thing is going to be, so that's probably the more readable way, is to do this JSON, because at least it's plain text. So this is the thing. It's 2025. I feel like we shouldn't be editing plain text files. And I also feel like it's probably, see, developers want to have a barrier to entry. They want to say that this is really hard. They want to be like, oh, it's impossible. Only special people can become game developers, which isn't true. So that's what they want to say. So I feel like sometimes it's that they like get these egos, and they're like, oh, it's got to be plain text. And then the whole thing is just like, come on. So yeah, it's 2025. We're using plain text files. Or JSON, whatever. I just think the whole thing, like, is, to me, is just strange. Like, why do we have to do this? And why doesn't Godot, and probably Unity is the same way, and same with Unreal, like, why are we using fucking plain text? Why isn't there just a button? Save my fucking game. Anyways, because there's other issues that we're going to run into, but I don't like any of these options. But so the main factor here also that plays into this is I want to be able to edit these resources back to the plain text complaint. These are all resources, and I have a bazillion of them. So like this activity is a resource, and it has its name, it's whatever. I want to be able to edit these in the editor, and because otherwise they all have to be plain text. When I'm saying plain text, but what I mean is JSON, and I don't want to do that. I mean, I could, but then we have to load them back in, and we have to do other things to them, because we got to convert them all in. And actually, just by accident almost, I think we have it under the auto load. So because I've been thinking about this all week. Yeah, so when we load this from disk, we could just load these all from a JSON file. And why are you blue, or why do you have a square around you? Anyways, so we could do that, but once again, we're back to editing text files, and I really don't want to. Like I said, it's 2025, man. Why are we editing fucking text files? But we gotta pick something that's durable. So this is the problem. We gotta pick something that's durable that we don't have to go back and change for the future. And another thing is, since I mentioned multiplayer, we are going to need to be passing this information serialized back and forth. And so this, we sort of can, but it will be easier if we have serialized data. And I don't know, like I said, I don't like any of the options, but I guess I have already made a decision, and that is when we go back to this save, we'll do it this way. So we have part of this with this. I have a JSON test that we worked on last weekend, where we did a variety of like small things. We made this like, Joker, how's it going? We were talking about your love of gators. It comes up a lot. I kind of too much. Let's go. So we made this thing as a test, but this actually isn't a very good test now that I know. Well, I think you were sleeping. Joker says he never sleeps, but then lately I've been noticing he's not around, so he must be sleeping, right? He couldn't like be doing a day job or something. That's insane. So this test is not that great because it was good for what it was, but it's earlier today. Yeah. I was in Crystal Mess's chat, and we were talking about Joker. On the couch, no sleeping. So this works for like this is an embedded class inside a class. They're public classes though. And what we have are resources. So I think what we're going to do, and this is what I did to get this thing over here. And I should probably have, to get this, I should have probably opened up this thing because it's already like ready to go. But we're going to make ChatGPT do all the work. That's what I decided to. So part of this process is just some tedious bullshit, and we'll make ChatGPT do the tedious bullshit. But this is an array, and that's what we have a bunch of lists and stuff. So anyways, all that preamble. And so if we look at the one we want to do, and what we'll do is we're going to save it as a resource and as a JSON, and then we'll remove the the resource one. We just want to kind of like compare sort of. Can I close any of this crap? Probably you, definitely you. Probably you. Options. Oh, we probably will go back to that. But so this is the other thing. So this is our fact. So it, like when you first start looking at this, you're like, oh, this isn't that hard. This is all easy. But this can't. This is bad. We can't. So when you save to JSON, it can be simple variables or whatever they call them. These will be turned into strings, which actually, at first I was like, what? But no, strings make sense. This is going to be turned into depth. You almost have to make videos again. What do you mean? Oh, you're caught up to your queue. Yeah, so this is going to be a problem. This is going to be a problem because this is a embedded thing. We're going to have all this, so this is going to be a pain. And then we'll have like a list inside here. And so this is where it also gets more complicated. I still want to edit this stuff in the inspector. Faction data is not that is not, so in the long run, we're going to randomly generate the factions. So it's not going to, we're not going to be editing faction most likely in the editor, in the inspector, I should call it. But we will be doing like county improvements and stuff. I can't make a decision. So 2 weeks isn't bad. That's like some good buffer room. How many weeks did you pre-record? You know, back when you did it. I mean, so it doesn't, it honestly, and every time I look at this is why I can't make a decision on this. None of it matters. It's an existential crisis of nothing. So I guess we just have to dive in and do it. So what we're going to do is, and I already know that we're going to have so many issues in the future because I'm going to forget to add things to the save stuff, and it's going to, we'll add a new variable to faction data and I'll forget to add it, and then I'll have to debug it and I'll have to figure out. So what we'll do is we'll go to ChatGPT over here. Just dawned on me I didn't open up my other thing here. Let me pull up my project because I might have had a note in my project to look at something. I don't remember. No notes. And then we'll bring ChatGPT over here. And what we'll do, so this is what I was talking with it yesterday. I think so this one, we were talking about this other way, why I sometimes start new ones like these ones. It's because sometimes you don't want it to remember. You want it to start over. And sometimes you do. But this one, I think I want it to remember. And we can use a lot of this code that it already wrote from my other game. And I was asking about encryption and stuff. The problem sometimes I run into is that there's so many questions that I've asked it that it gets confused, and then trying to find my shit in there, like the actual what we want. So this is the DTO, which I forget what this stands for, is what we're going to have to turn the faction data into a DTO and then save it. And so we're going to have like a step in between. And once again, this is like, we could just have the faction. Well, we can't. We always have to turn the faction data into a resource because it has these things that cannot be converted to JSON. And when I say they cannot be converted, I mean you have to do some funky shit, but we can't use it. We need this color here. I think color is one of them. We need this color here and this diplomacy to be used, so we have to down to I don't think that's what it means. So we have to have the resource. So there's no way around, like, even if we saved everything as, we're going to have this to use it. I mean, I guess we could turn it into a public class, but and if we have to, we will turn it into a public class. But I think we can continue with this. We'll save everything. Yeah, it's just an extra step that I wish we didn't have to have. But let's first go back to our, it's actually not that, there's not that much code involved. I'm going to go back to the very beginning here. See, I pasted in like, here's my stuff, fix this, or not even fix it, just here's my stuff, write it for me, and it did it, and then I had to go through. So we're going to start up here. I think this is so we're going to put it, we're actually going to copy this whole thing, and we're going to put this we're gonna, you know, make changes to it. We have a save manager. And we were kind of looking at this before, but we were doing it in just this JSON test. And we'll just stick this randomly right here. And then we need to include this. And then we're going to have a new one of these. It's not going to be called save game DTO, though. We're going to do... So the reason I'm making that noise is because DTO just sounds dumb. See, I don't like this whole thing. Like the options. Joker, why don't they just have a built-in Godot thing that's just save game? Why don't they have it? All right, so we need to have a new public class called faction DTO. What are we looking at? This is my test. I know. I wish they. So this is back to my complaint. Like, it's not. I guess it's less of a complaint, but I wish they had like a best practices and stuff, because there are. And I looked up. Like, some people were like, "No, just fuck all that. Just make it a binary." And I was like, "What?" And I get, you know, it's there's, you know, and I actually read the docs for saving games, which I hadn't actually looked at before, and it says JSON for a lot of stuff. Why am I just sitting here like like come on, public class, create new script, faction DTO with a capital D. Why? I mean, the capital D, yeah, but why not a capital TO? Did you do it? Did you open it? All right, so this faction DTO is where we're gonna have to convert the faction data to a faction DTO to save it. So then we're gonna take this thing, we're gonna copy this whole thing, we're gonna go over it because I don't want to do it. Can you convert this to a DTO? Here's how we can design. See, yeah, color is one of them. So we can serialize. So here's the, see, like I said, I'm gonna make it do all the work. Oh, and the other thing we tested too was you can put, where was that? Oh, it's this JSON include in front of these to make it so that it actually works, or you can just do it like this. Faction color stored as a hex string, huh? Okay. So then we're making these a list. These are C# lists. See, this is what I was talking about, being lazy, is we just like, fuck you, just make ChatGPT do it. So back to, is AI stealing our jobs? So would that be someone's job, I guess? That it would probably be someone's job to type that crap over, you know? Oh, we need a good DTO, huh? All right, fine. All right, fine. Yeah, so I mean, what is a junior? What does that person get paid? Are they an intern? What is their? So we're gonna need Crystal streaming with this. You get that? Should I go to yours and so it'll just be a big long Inception type thing? What is this thing? Good DTO. Yeah, I think we're just gonna have to do the DTO thing. How's your stream going? I was just talking about AI, literally just talking about AI, and you appeared. Who, you know, like in programming, who's got the job of retyping all this crap that I just made ChatGPT do. What did they get paid, and did they lose their job because I did this? Let's see. So then we need to go to our good data, and we'll tell it to convert this thing. I mean, there's no easy way to do this. Where the fuck is our good data? Because everything is all intertwined. Copy. And you know, my boss, he's like the controller or whatever of the company. He says he uses ChatGPT all the time for like Excel stuff. Can you convert, or can you use the word create the good DTO? So this one, oh, it still thinks I'm talking about vehicles. That one doesn't look that bad. What is this thing at the bottom? What? Max amount. See, this is going to get weird. Oh, no, I guess it's not. It's not going to get weird. I was thinking because of the capitals, because getter setter, you know, they have a capital. So it's doing this. Yeah, this is going to get confusing. And what's at the bottom? Okay, so, and then this new copy. Oh my God, how are we going to deal with that crap? This just wants this thing. And what's a lambda? What does this thing want? Does it not conform to code style? Okay, more lambdas. You too? You as well? Fine. I like to fix these when I can. What do you want? A daily chance. Okay. All right, so we'll copy this. We'll put this over here. What's your problem? All right, so this is fine, I guess. Oh, we got to put a namespace. Nope, that's not what we wanted. Give me my namespace. Namespace, player, space. And why do you want this to be? Do you want this one to be an abstract class as well? Remove unused class. We're about to use it right here. All right, let's go back and make sure that this thing, we don't have our namespace in here. All right, we have our good, we have our dictionaries. We're storing this as a hex. I guess everything's here. Then what we'll do is this is going to be a faction DTO. And I think, yeah, fuck you. And I think that we're actually, let's rename this to faction DTO. And then we haven't created this yet. This is, we'll create this in like 2 seconds. And it's actually in our save game thing. Yeah, like I said, I don't like any of our options. Where's our save manager? We're in our save manager. In our save manager, what do we got here? We need to go to this thing. We have nothing. So let's then go back and copy this code from the other day. Yesterday, actually. Gotta go past the encryption. Right, exactly. So, yeah. You know, when I watched that guy, that Coding Jesus guy, he kept talking about interns, and I kept wondering if they were like paid intern positions. I remember my cousin got an intern position, and he was telling me all about it, and I was like basically like, wow, that sounds like a lot of work. And he's like, oh, it's so much work. Yeah, I forget what the internship was for. But at some point I said, like, do you get paid? Wait, do you get paid for this position? And then he's like, yeah, it's a paid internship. And I was like, you should always say paid internship. Because when I hear internship, I think unpaid. So I wonder if when that Coding Jesus guy, if he was talking about a paid internship, because like, what are they? They get some student to type this shit in. Are they even going to learn anything? All right, so we're almost there. This is in equipment data. Okay, so we're going to want to... Yeah, exactly. Like, isn't that... I thought that's the thing. Are internships usually paid or unpaid? Who knows if this thing knows, though? It's bad at math. It's really bad at math. Private sector internships are paid, often well paid. For nonprofit government agencies and creative fields like media, arts, fashion, maybe unpaid internships. Legal, Europe, of course, they're ahead of us on that. And feels like medicine, law, and education, there are structured internships or placements that might be unpaid but are part of licensing. Yeah, I mean, they should still pay them. All right, we got to build this other... See, this is the thing I didn't want to do. Oh, did you... What? Did you already do this? Did you do it up here? My intern. My intern needs a raise. No. Oh, good God. What the fuck is this? Did I not look at... Oh, my God. He did do it. It did do it. All right, so under faction DTO, we need to put this thing in here. So this is what I was talking about, though, with the... oh, I see some vars in there. We're going to have to remember to update this stuff. This should be in faction data. How did I do this in my other one? I think this one should be in faction data, actually, because we have the faction info. Let's see. Let's just stick it somewhere. I guess this is the bottom. Yeah, so this is going to return. So we're gonna have a faction data that we put in, and it's gonna say 2DTO, and it's gonna convert this stuff. I still didn't see a point to YAML when I can config file. What is the config? You mentioned config file. What does the config file look like? Isn't that config file in Godot though? Config file. Oh, you posted an example? Oh, is that the thing you posted earlier? YAML. Maybe, here, I'm going to bring this over. Maybe the config file is YAML. Oh my God, it's so similar. And that's the one, when you're saying config file, you're talking about where you can like save it. So this is also an example of where people argue about saving games. They're like, don't use the config thing. Where does it save this to, though? Can you just put it anywhere? I thought this was the thing where it saves it to a specific spot. No, this is just, you can put it wherever. I think I'm thinking of something else. Is it so? What I'm thinking of is where, but you have in here actually, where you would set the configuration for the game, like the. I swear there was it saves it in a different spot. You know what I'm talking about? Like it saves it in, um, not user, not res, but like on Windows and somewhere else. Yeah, I always call those init files, but they don't, it doesn't have a T at the end. Tons of games have that. It's just obtain the text version of this config file. All right, so we got this. What is this thing? Assuming they have names or IDs. What is this? Okay, so we're making a list somewhere. Where's my DTO? Why are you all underlined, you piece of shit? Just what? What? What do you mean backfield? Oh my! What? Really? No, get out of here. Just shut up. This should be the thing, though. Yeah, that thing. So it's all the lists. But then it still has questions. A list of strings. Now it wants it back to the other way. We'll worry about that in a second. So what the fuck were we looking at? Okay, so this is just a string of research items. And this is researchable research. We're at the faction level. And is this the uncool square you're talking about? Yeah. I like these. I don't know. I'm surprised though. I think we were talking about this in a couple of streams ago, where when you do like a new, I don't know where. There's an example somewhere, but who knows the fuck where it is, where you have to do like a new resource. You have to put the name in. You go like new whatever of the resource. It's like, why doesn't it know? I don't know what this thing's complaining about. So this is going to be a list of strings. So this is where it also gets to the point where it's even more of me going like, so we're going to have, because we have to bring this back in, after it's a JSON, we got to bring it back in. So that's why it's doing this. We can do, because this is, I think, what is our original? I think that's, yeah, that's an enum, so that's fine. And this is just an array, and we can't do that. So how are we going to do that? So the research item data, it doesn't have... They do have names. So what does this thing think it is? This DTO is, in our DTO... Oh, I see what I understand now. So it's going to go... I was sitting here going, fuck. It's going to put the, we can put the string of the research, of the name of the, and that's what it's doing. Wherever that was. Where is that thing? Yeah, so it's like doing the resource name, but we could do, whatever research name in there, and we could have a list of it, and the research name is actually unique. But then, like, down here, we have the hero name, and the hero name can be unique, but it isn't necessarily going to be unique. So we're going to have, because there's not, so when we did that test, whatever, we did some math last time, and it was, we had 70 people just for testing. And so when we have, even if we have 1,000 names, we're going to have, 10,000 people that we're keeping track of. So there's a high chance of a duplicate name. So we are going to have some sort of hero ID, person ID. So I guess that's the first thing. So we need to tackle that issue here. Research is definitely going to be unique, and we can do research name. Whoops. We could do research name for both of these. Hero name, it most of the time would work, but it's not gonna be. So how would we? Okay, so we're gonna have the good one, the good thing here too. But let's deal with this problem first. And we're gonna have a lot of problems. This is gonna be like a major rewrite to get this to work. And then the other major thing, once again, I'm not 100% sure if I even want to do this. Luckily I pushed my code, I think. I hope. Last time, just in case we want to revert all this work. I mean, it just wasted time, and we have an endless amount of time, right? You never die. We live forever. Joker, do you use, or anyone in chat, do you use ChatGPT is the most used AI or Claude or whatever for these types of questions, not for like graphics or whatever. So the reason why I'm like staring at this, because we're going to have to then generate some sort of, for the hero name, let's ask ChatGPT. I'm going to do a new one because we don't want to confuse it. In my game, we are going to have thousands of... Yeah, so that's the problem, is Claude has so few things, so few questions of people who currently Godot 4.5 C#, who currently can have the same name. I think we need to have a random an ID assigned to them. Could we just do a random one and hope they never get the same ID? Or, because the problem is we would have to keep track of some ID number. I guess that isn't the end of the world. I know where we do it. I was thinking maybe it's not under faction generation, actually. It would be under... Use it to cross. That's a good. I've done that a couple of times, actually, and sometimes it's wildly different. Like where you wonder, like, did ChatGPT like really fuck it up, or like who's fucked up here? So I think under population generation, actually, let's look at how we did this, because we've only moved over some stuff. Because you only get like 4, I think, with Claude. You only get 4 questions. Generate population. This is public, so we must be calling this somewhere else. So what we could do, actually, I think we'll keep track of the number. We could either put it in auto load. Yeah, we need to put it in auto load. The problem is I don't want to jam everything in auto load. I guess that's just what we're gonna do. That's just how things are gonna work. Is everything's gonna be jammed into auto load. We went for everything jammed into globals. Now everything's gonna be jammed into auto load. All right, so let's do this. We're gonna need somewhere in here. We're gonna need, I guess, right here. Why is this commented out? I thought all of our faction data is in auto load. Oh no, we moved it to save game. Okay. That's the one problem with my Stickle Wings. How's it going? Is it Friday? I thought it was Saturday. I'm getting fired at work. No, I took the day off. We were talking about YAML earlier. You should put Stickle Wings. You should put that on your resume. You know, your real name, but Stinkle the YAML guy winks. Okay, so what we're gonna do in here is public int population ID count. What's your problem? Oh, okay. What's your problem? You've never been used? All right. So then what we'll do, is this gonna work? This will work until we load the game, then it will break. So we have to actually save this. We have to save this. Number somewhere. And now I'm thinking maybe we save it under the faction data. What's the best way to do this? I think so. We're gonna have to save. We'll just put it in here. Auto load. Where are you? Why do I have so much shit open? We needed that. What I just closed. I can't remember what that is. So this will put in our save game data. I have a feeling like I'm setting myself up for problems here. Well, we're not going to call this count. We're going to population ID current population ID with a little d. Okay, so then back to our population generation. Should I just rename this right now? We're just going to rename this right now. And then down here, I think we have, yeah, generate population. So at the top of generate populate, we need to add into population data. We need to add in population. But that's going to be hard to do. It's a well, we were looking. Where was that you? Is it still in chat? Did I close it? Well, I mean, we were looking at config files, but he had an example somewhere. Oh, it was on Discord. So here's the YAML. Here's YAML. And then here's a config file from Godot, and they're almost identical. Like the only difference is the brackets. And that's what he's talking about. Like, why wouldn't you use this versus that? So then now the other problem we're gonna have. Do I still have my save over here? Is like pretend that this was their equipment name is a real name. We're not saving. I need to see how this looks, I think. Yeah, let's see how this looks. I'm not going to put export on this. Yeah, this is going to be incredibly painful to switch over. Where were we looking at this? Where we needed this DTO shit? It was under faction data. Because I think the problem is we're not going to be able to see who's on the save list. And I guess, so that was the other thing I was thinking about that I didn't even mention, which is stop looking at the save files. That's the solution to like half of my problems. It's just don't look at the save file. Like that. So if I saved it as a resource, which is what I was doing before we got those errors, I could just, if I stop looking at the save file, but I like to look at the save file to see how things are working. This is the error that I'm talking about. This crazy resource was not pre-cached for the resource section bug with a question mark. If I stop looking at the save file, that would solve like 90% of my problems. If I just said, oh, I'm not going to look at the save file anymore. But let's finish this idea here. So under generate population, we need to, well, actually, we need population data. We need it's an int, and it's going to be population ID with a little d. And then we're going, I don't think I need an export on this. We'll put one on here anyways, though, actually. Then we're going to put this hero.population ID. What? What do you want? Type string. Where do you see for each we need this, the DTO. This is going to be this one too. Population ID. So faction leader and where's our DTO bullshit? All right, so faction leader is going to be an int. And this is going to be a list of ints. And we'll fix this thing. And we'll fix this thing. And we'll fix this thing. And I might just tell this thing to not tell me to do this. Actually, no. This is a writer thing, and I think I just don't. I need to look up, and I don't want to take the time to look up right now, like what's going on, you know. All right. So this is now going to work. This is a key value pair. Did you see that shit? I think we need to put in here, though, faction good. It's a faction good type, which is with enum. Comma. What was the other thing? Stop it. Good data. Key value pair. I don't like that. I don't like that thing. In. Oh, I'm missing a thing here. Is that all I'm missing? No, I'm put in the wrong spot. For each. Oh. Then we still have to create this 2DTO over here. And this is the same. And this is the same. We need to put this, though, here. Why don't I double click? More. I don't remember what wars were, like what we used. Do we have war name in here? Do we have a name at all in war? We'll have to figure that out. We're down to 4, though. COX, do you work at Lowe's currently? I thought for some reason you got a different job. It's because I have a terrible memory. But yeah, we were talking on my Discord about, I was saying that Microsoft really needs to understand how people use their software, because there's all sorts of stuff, like OneDrive is the thing that made me start thinking about this. So, you know, in my work, we use like SharePoint and OneDrive and all that for files. And, you know, people take a video of something and they dump it into their OneDrive and it just chokes the fuck out of OneDrive because it's giant, you know, it's a giant file, or SharePoint or whatever. It will eventually work, but sometimes and they don't, because it takes so long, the person's like dumping more and more files in there, and they don't understand that Microsoft doesn't understand that there needs to either not allow it or have another way to do it. And there's all sorts of, like, how things are moved around. This is some crazy shit that happens all the time. I would say once every 2 weeks, if you go, I'm just going to go into some file folder. Someone says my folder has been deleted because someone else accidentally dragged it into the folder next to it. So what's happening is they're going to double click this, but when they accidentally do this instead of double click. I know what you're thinking. You're like, that's user error. Fuck them. But there needs to be something And so Microsoft Search is so bad. If you search, I was about to pull up one or SharePoint and show you guys, but I can't because it's my work stuff. But if you search in OneDrive or SharePoint or OneDrive, it will find that folder, no problem. But it won't tell you where it is and stuff. The whole thing's a pain in the ass, and that's the thing. Is like they need to have the people who are in control of programming this stuff needs to work in a small office for a while so they can understand what's going on. And so I imagine it's similar to it. So Stinglewing's mentioning Lowe's, and is that people at the top don't understand like how long it takes to move something in Lowe's, you know, like for the employees to rearrange something or whatever. But and so I was saying also Kinko's, that when the first time I worked at Kinko's, they actually made the office workers work at a Kinko's for a week once a year while there was this party that went on. They had like a yearly party for the Kinko's employees. And those people didn't know how to do shit at Kinko's, so the store was a fucking disaster, but they learned that it's not as easy as they think. You know, they think someone comes in and says, give me 10 copies of this piece of paper, but in reality, the person's raging asshole comes in and screams at you for 10 minutes and then wants you to be nice to him. So, whatever. So, yeah, they're out of touch is what I'm trying to say. So what the fuck is this thing? This is under good data. We haven't copied this in here yet, but ChatGPT already did it for us. So let's copy that over. What was I typing in here? Oh, I was going to ask it about the ID. And I didn't finish that either. So let's do that real quick, then I'm going to take a break. Population data, we put that there. We're going to go under here. We're going to go auto load, instance, dot save game. Is it not there? Where did I move this? Oh, it's under save manager or something. Save manager dot instance dot save game data dot current population ID. We're going to go how the fuck does this thing even work? This needs to be population ID equals. Nope. Why are you doing this to me? Cut. Go there. Bonk. And then at the end of, oh, we got to do this twice. What do you want? Oh, this should be a comma. This needs to be in here too. This needs to be a comma. Then, we don't need, at the end of this thing, we're going to say that, we're going to say this. Plus plus. And we're just going to keep a track of this. And then what we'll do, is this in the right thing? It is. Then we'll GD print just for a test. We can't test this right now, which is a bummer, but we'll do it anyways. Population ID after. Actually, we'll put this right here. And we'll put this. So basically what we want to see is this just counting up from 0 every time we run the game. Without, without any duplicates. All right, I'm going to take a quick break, though, and I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. Let me throw up my break timer. And I almost went to pause my streaming. What? All right, let me throw my break timer, and I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. All right, I'm back. And I got to start my music that you guys can't hear. All right. We got to fix this shit. All right, so the good data, we need to copy that over. Need to put chat back up. my laziness here. Now it's going to bring up, like, it's going to think I was, because I asked about the internship thing, it's going to start bringing internship. 2 DTO is what we need first. Luckily, the good data is not that crazy. This is actually going in good data. Do we have that open? No. I hope this is done. I don't know if this is fixed. 100%. Oh, we do have good data open. And we'll just stick this at some random spot right here. Equipment name. Good data has equipment in it. Where did it pull this equipment name out of its ass from? Where did it get this from? Equipment data. Oh, do we have? Oh, we do. Why did you put it down there? What is our equipment data? So this is for when it's an actual equipment. We don't have we can do equipment type, but it's an enum. So let's go to this. Will this work? We have to do toString or something. Stringify. We'll go like this. This is an enum. Let's see if it knows what I'm talking about. Now I have the wrong shit on my. Oh no, I'm fine. I was thinking I had the wrong shit over here. Wait, what? Good. Oh, we're in the wrong. This is what I want. If this isn't a type as stored as a string, I guess we'll take this too. Yeah, well, man, I am listening to some bad music. This is where I want to be here. I want you to be here. Oh, no. Motherfucker, what is this thing called? Equipment data. Oh, but we got to put in the DTO. Yeah, that's this thing that I copied. We'll copy this. I guess we'll put a space there. What do you want? Remove? All right, what do we make this capital S? What is this little checkbox we got in here from ChatGPT? I mean, it was nice, but more allowance. Like allowance your parents give you? Like that type of allowance? Equipment type. No. Equipment data. Equipment data equals isn't. What do you want? More conditional. Okay. All right. Or just allow me universal to do anything. I just can't believe that there isn't a built-in thing for everything, basically. Like it just, you click a button. I was ranting about that earlier. It's 2025, man. Right? Like it's 2025 and I don't know. We're watching ads on TV. Not that I watch TV, but you guys know what I mean. Like the Staples button? What's the Staples button? All right, now we gotta go back to this. These are now working. Now we gotta figure out this war thing. So what do we do with this war? It's just a list of wars. List of war. Which is faction data and a faction data. All right, let me look. I should probably open this on my other monitor first, but why trust Stingle Wings? It's that one guy. I mean, there should be an easy button. Remember they for a while they were selling, like, Amazon had those buttons that you could like stick. I don't know if they still do it, but you could like stick on your washing machine and you would push it in and reorder ship for you. I don't know what to do about this. We aren't really using war. Oh, I think we are actually. Yeah, we are. Yeah, they had like buttons. They might still have them. Amazon reorder buttons. Reorder your favorite dog shit. Because we just gotta consume. Yeah, so you like there's these buttons and you just like push them. They stick on stuff. Obviously they gotta be on Wi-Fi or something. Okay, so with this war thing, let's make ChatGPT do it again. Let's see what it says. Because I don't wanna. I don't wanna. The war resource looks like this. Oh, it's doing us the response thing. Okay, so since war uses faction data references, okay, so we could just put the ID. Okay, I guess that's what the man loading this is gonna suck a dick. This is everything. This is gonna be quite painful. And this is the problem. I mean, once we get it to work, I don't think it will. Bye, ChatGPT. We're done. It just went blank. It was like, no, we're done with your shit. It's gone. Do I have the internet still? I guess. What happened there? Oh, I don't know. I don't know, man. Don't make me pick. So for this DTO thing, what did you say? Let me copy this. We need a war. See, every single one of these, man. Static class war extensions. Extension for war. We're going to copy this. And we're going to go put this under war. Which look at this shit. Oh, it's because it's a public class. Is that what that extension was? Then we need to create a war DTO. Yeah, this is not going to be easy. But so, anyways, what I was saying was that we'll get it to work, everything will work fine, and then later I'm going to forget to add into the DTO the new variables. And I know I said that earlier, but that's what's going to fucking happen, man. Didn't I create a folder called DTOs? Or was that yesterday in my other game? I think that was yesterday in my other game. It was. Let's put all of these into a folder. DTOs. And then let's put these public classes. I see 2 of them. Can we do it this way, or will Godot be a dickhead about it? All right, it worked. Do we have any other DTOs? No. All right, then we'll create a new one. War DTO. Did I forget to take the node part off the top? No, it's because I copied and pasted it from whatever. All right, so then we're going, this is a real pain. This wants this. Because this is a public class. It wants that in the DTO thing, huh? I gotta skip this song. I got that threw me off what I was doing. Here's our war DTO. Yeah, this step is I'm not a big fan of this step. The DTO step. But I don't see a way around it. We need to use what? No, it was an accident. Namespace. All right, then back over to war. I guess we don't. Extension method can only declare. Is that what this weird extension thing was? What is this weird extension? What is over here? Add a method to your war class. This is the one we want. I prefer this one. It's very similar, but it's different. I'm very tempted to delete this thing too, but I guess we'll leave it. I mean, I keep thinking, you know, I go through these phases where I don't want to do anything, do anything at all, but get faction. What are we doing here? But I'm back to like thinking more about my other hex game. So that's from. We're gonna get to the froms eventually. So this is the one we just. And so I only work on the other games when I'm offline. I only work on them for like 30 minutes, 45 minutes. And it just, whenever I accomplish anything, I just like, yep, I'm done. And then push that code, push that domain, and then we're done. And this is the part I need to look up. And so I've been doing that more, just like jump on real quick and work on that game. And it's pretty fun because there's interesting, like the other game, like I've said, is like a Wild West of how I'm doing it. I don't follow any of my rules and shit. I just like throw everything together. And though it has screwed me long term. What do we need to change to this? What? do we need to change this to? You know, its memory is better than it used to be. Okay, so it's DT. What? For each war, DTO. War to DTO. War. Did I not put that in war? To DTO. We're returning a war DTO. It's inside the public class of war. For wars and wars, we're adding into the DTO. What do you want? Oh, we got to fix what it's adding in because it's confused, which is what this thing was saying. We're just having a list of wars. And the faction DTO. Yeah, this is complicated. And we'll need this. Wait, isn't this what we already have? Yeah, we already have that. List of strings? No. What was this? List of war DTO? That's not going to do us any good. No, I guess it will do us good. All right. What the fuck was I yammering about? I don't remember. All right, so this is now here. We have no more errors in the faction data DTO to DTO. Yammer? Okay, so this should be faction data to DTO. Okay, I'm wrong. Faction data. What we're gonna do actually? Where is this? What do we have? Where's our save game? We're gonna go save game dot all 2DT. I know what you're thinking. You're like, that's only the first one. That's okay. We're gonna fix that in a second. And then faction DTO is what we're saving to disk. Shut the fuck up. No, sorry. We're doing JSON. There we go. Is this thing? Yeah. I'm listening to the Smiths for some reason. How do we test this shit? Clear that off. I think it's this. I think we can test it. Oh, no, that's not going to work. We didn't change the file name to .json. What is going to happen? We're just going to get a bug. Man, I was watching... what? I was watching this review, Angry Joe review of some game, and he was highlighting other streamers who were saying the game sucked, and he was highlighting other streamers that were saying it was good. And it's crazy how many other streamers are constantly yelling, like overly enthusiastic. This worked, by the way. This thing that earlier. This though. Let's see. I don't think we saved this to a .json file, did we? What is this thing gonna plop out? Yeah, it's nothing. Maybe we didn't save it at all. We didn't put this anywhere. That's probably what happened. So under Save Manager, we basically just want to slap this thing in temporarily. Yeah, who gives a fuck what orders it's in? And then We'll play this and we'll get our bugs because I still haven't renamed the thing. What? The file. Like I said, I have these tree people coming at 2. Object reference can be set to an instance of an object. Give me some more information, my friend. Give me some more information. Actually, we should move that. Where was that thing? Save file to disk. Wait. Oh, no. This is at the end of the thing. I gotcha. So you're gonna go to here, check for file. That's fine. You're gonna save to JSON. Where's our file path in here? Do we not put it? Where's our file path? That's our serializationer. Where's our file path? File open, read. What is going on? This is our file path there in that one. File access open. Well, I'm gonna put this over chat for a second because I need to compare these two. I guess I can not make it big. File open. We need the path. Goes in here. What do we got up here? And then we'll go JSON. And then we'll save this. We'll double click that. I'm trying to retrain my double clickage. I think I said this the last time. Somebody commented on it at work. And I locked his access and he can't get into the system anymore. Because fuck him. No. I didn't say anything at all. Because I'm nice at my job. All right, let's do this now. We did that. I don't know if that was the issue, but we needed to do that. I think, no, that was probably the issue. It was probably, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Something. Yeah, so shouting and screaming. And I noticed that, like, you know, I was doing a rant about Elon Musk and that, like, video got a bunch of hits, which I thought was weird. All right, here's our shit. Its faction color is 0. Oh my god. Look at this nightmare. Alright, what is this thing? This is just one faction. This is one... we haven't even saved 2 factions. We've saved 1 faction. Let's take a look at what we got here. Faction capital county is 0. Really? 0? Whoops. Faction ID is 0. Is players false? Faction name... faction color. I don't believe you. Maybe we haven't assigned the faction color yet. Researchable research is an empty bracket. Yeah, we haven't assigned that shit yet. Faction leader is 0. This is kind of cool. When we converted this to a string, this is the name of each one. We'll just have to make sure that the names are unique, which is not that big of a deal. Research offices, we don't have any. Faction goods. So this is where we're going to run into what Stinklewink's talking about. There's just going to be like a ton of these brackets or squigs inside squigs inside. I mean, it's not that bad. It's not that bad because it's all color coded, but so that's fine. This is, you know, we have raw materials, good name, good equipment. Is this right? Yeah, that's right. Yesterday's faction goods, which is just a huge list. Man, it's like, you know that the list is all the list of all this crap. How big is this file? It's significantly less. Well, this is only one of them. How big is a EU4 file? I saved a file like yesterday. I think it's 4 megs. Why I think that is because I was using my cloud storage and it told me where it said documents. That was not useful. You want to hear something crazy that I noticed that Mac users do is they often drag around Windows, and so they'll have like, and I don't know what the deal is. I've wondered. They'll have like their windows like this, so nothing's ever maximized. That's the other thing. They never maximize anything on a Mac, so it'll all be like this, and then they can click around like this. I think it's so almost every Mac user that I've helped at my job does this. So once again, nothing's maximized. Sometimes they'll have things like this where it's close to maximized. And it's weird. What is good? Now, well, now I have shit covered up things. It's weird. And I've wondered why. And I asked one, so they, like when they need to get to like a new window, Alt-Tab. So Alt-Tab is definitely useful. I'm assuming there's a similar command for this. This is becoming a nightmare to me even show you guys what I'm talking about. It's usually like with, like, especially with like Chrome, they'll have like a bunch of little windows like this because they all use Chrome too. And then so then they can get to the windows behind it by like, so they won't leave the upper left because that's how you minimize and shit. So they go like, it would be over here because, you know, they don't want to cover up the upper left. So they would do something like this so they can get to the other Chrome windows. And once again, they never maximize anything. But they, you know, you can't click on the left because that's what this stuff is on the Mac. So it's very strange. Yeah, I usually just bounce it off the top. The Windows arrow keys, I have to always tell my coworkers, because there's this one program that always opens on a monitor that you don't have. It's quite strange. So I have to train him on the Windows arrow key thing. It's an old school program. Yeah, I don't understand what the deal with that is, Mac. I got sidetracked. Yeah, I assume that there's the equivalent of this on Mac. I just don't know what it is because I don't use Macs at all, pretty much, except for to support them at my job. All right, what the fuck were we doing when I got sidetracked? Yammering about the weird Mac thing. We save this. Oh yeah, we were gonna look at this. User docs, paradox. EU4. So this was my auto save from last night. Why are these other ones so much smaller? That's pretty big. What does this thing look like? We're gonna have to wait an eternity here. Yeah, the weird program. So this company that we use, it's a vendor, and they have this old school program that looks old school. It connects to a system, but it's not a real-time update. So when you make a change, you have to push the change, and then when you first connect to it, you have to pull, because it's old school, like a modem style. And that's the program that always, I don't want to say the name of it, but that's the program that always opens on a monitor that you don't have. I'm just patient. I'm just talking while we wait for this to open, because I'm curious now. I guess I could have opened a smaller one. Can I make you stop? Let's look at this Cherokee one. Because otherwise we'd be sitting there all day. Lost Min. I wonder what this one was. That must have been a mod. Before war, I was going to go to war, it looks like. Yeah, so the problem in that old school style thing, the thing with that is that, oh, this doesn't have any text in it. The CK3 one had some text at the top. I forget what it was, JSON or something. All right, so this is like a binary or whatever. It's encrypted or something. Yeah, there's nothing in here. Nothing. I forgot what I was talking about that program. Who cares? All right, so we're done with looking at that because that doesn't give us any information for what I was curious about. So let's see. We have one. All right, now we're going to save. Oh, this is the wrong save. We're done with that save, though. We're going to. Oh, my God. It's like it was like a little window over there. Now we're going to for each through this thing. And we're going to save all of the factions. Close this. I guess we could have left it open. So under our save game, wherever we stash that thing, right here, we're going to tell, can you make this so we go through the whole list? It's like one line, but I'm feeling that lazy today. Yeah, we have to make a list. And then we're going to serialize them all at once. We'll come back to that. Right now we're just saving stuff. We're not doing anything else. We need a list here. This is what I was talking about, but I think this one, because it's a list, yeah, will let us do that. String. This is going to be faction DTOs. We're going to run this thing. This is saved. We're going to run this. Play the scene. We're going to go back over here. 11K to, I'm going to say 80. No, 40. We got an overflow. What are we printing down there? Oh, I printed all this? Did I? Was that part of what I just copied over? Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, we know that that worked, but let's look at our thing here. These are going to get gigantic, man. These are going to get very gigantic. All right, so now we have 4 factions supposedly saved in here. Once again, I'm not a big fan of how this looks, but I guess this is what we're stuck with. I mean, anything we use, I'm not going to be a fan of. I don't like the options. That's the title of this stream, because I don't like my options, and it's true. All right, so this is faction ID 2 or 1, which the other one was 0, so it's 2. Faction capital county. Okay, so 0 was right on the other one, because 0 is, I don't think, yes, we can. That's 0. This is 1. So let's look at the player faction. Man, this is just so much duplicate data. but it needs to be there. Does it? Does this need to be here? Well, let's look at the player faction first just to make sure. I guess I could search by player faction. The shipbirds. AI 3. Why are you highlighted? Whoops. The shipbirds. Oh, look at this. We have a faction war dictionary. I guess they're all going to have that. Here we are, though. So what I'm also saying is we need to move over more things to this under faction generation. But I'm looking at this. All right, we need to look at this. We'll go to the top. We need to look at this and decide what is required to be saved. And because we don't need all of this stuff. So this is what I'm talking about is like at the beginning of the game, the faction goods are all going to be 0, but I guess later they're going to be changed. So we would need, I mean, we don't need to save it right now, but we're going to use the same save system throughout the game. This list, I guess we do need to save all this stuff. I'm trying to look and see if there's anything, because a lot of this stuff's going to be randomized at the beginning. When we generate our factions before the game starts, you're going to get randomly generated factions on the map. Do we have a map open? So currently we're giving, so the player has 2 because has 2 counties because we need 2 for testing. And this guy has 3, this AI faction has 3 because we needed that for testing. But in reality, we're going to randomly generate each one of these, and they'll be not, because we're doing North America, there'll probably be like 60 or 65 places that the player can pick from to start. So there'll be that many starting locations, but one of them would be Portland. So you couldn't pick this place, but you could pick Portland. And these other ones are going to be just randomly generated single. They're not going to own more than one. And that's what you're going to start with, is like one county that you have to expand from. And so this will look different, and this will also generate they'll have different levels of technology, have different buildings they can build, etc., etc. So that is where this, I guess we got to save all this shit. I mean, it's only 47. It's 1/100th the size of a EU4 file. Well, 1,000th if you're looking. I wonder why Ethiopia was so giant. I mean, I played it a lot longer. What the hell am I looking for here? Documents. Save games. I did play these guys for a long time, but wait, 1357? That doesn't make any sense. The game starts in 1444. This must be a mod. The Rail Skulkers is a mod, and I played the fuck out of those guys, I think. Okay, Ming I played for a little bit. I wonder why this current save exploded in size. Look at this one's from 5 years ago. So that must be Japan. Yeah, I wonder why this exploded in size. I thought the Nazca were in South America. Yeah. Oh, extended timeline. I don't think I played extended timeline very long. Anyways, I guess I shouldn't worry about it if these are if this is 1,000 times larger than I don't, I like I said, I read a bunch about save games, and there was some talk of like your save game files are going to get too big. It's still smaller than the resource file, so I guess that's fine. We've done one direction. So now we got to do the other direction, which is we have to load them. We can close all of this. One less thing to look at. We can close neither of those. We can close this. Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll put the load, okay, this is what we'll do. Well, no, we'll leave it in there for a second. I was going to say we'll take out the other save part, but let's get the load working. So let's go back to our ChatGPT thing because we have bunches of copying and pasting to do here because we didn't add in the from part. So let's see. Let's start with the faction data. We have 2 DTO. We need to find the from DTO. Optional from DTO for loading. This is not what we want. I mean, it is, but we want the next one, I guess. Did that say rehydrate? There's a lot of these. Good data from DTO. Let's copy this one and stick it somewhere. We have 2 DTO. Let's do from DTO. Equipment lookups must be handled by you. If you save equipment name, this is before we did that change, so we need to put from DTO here. We need that equipment data. We need some sort of, and I think it actually put this in here. I should have just put the from parts in with the other. Updated to DTO, updated from, here's this gibberish garbage. And I think we can just jam that right there. And then we need to jam in our, see, once again, this is going to be kind of a nightmare. It's going to be kind of a nightmare because I'm going to forget once again. What are we looking for? Oh, we called it equipment data. Give me a K and a D here. Nothing? Let's get rid of these little checkboxes, even though they're kind of funny. Even though these tree guys said they're going to come at 2, I'm looking at my phone to see if my cameras are triggered. So if I suddenly am like, gotta go by, that's what's going on. They're gonna have to. This tree is probably dead. I wish I had a picture of it, but they're gonna have to like climb this tree that's gigantic, and it's a split trunk tree, so they're gonna have to climb each trunk and like cut each piece as they go down. It's gonna be fucking ridiculous. Price wise. All right, so good data. We have our from. We need to now go to our faction. Well, here we're at war. Rehydrate. Is that the right word? That seems like the wrong word. Because it I wonder what we were going to do with war there, because I bet you it changes. We need a list. So what is this shit doing? We have to pass in a list of all factions. I guess we haven't even... Well, we'll do that in a second, I suppose. My phone just lit up for no apparent reason. I don't think I went back far enough. We gotta go back to our... No, we were in the equipment data. Where's my from? See, this is the other problem with carrying on a long conversation. We need to go from... Yeah, we need this. Where's this thing? Give me this thing. There's only one of them. Why are you dinging? Where's our from DTO? From... What do these other ones look like? Faction data. Oh, maybe you never gave me a from... We have to have a from, though, for that. Like, ChatGPT definitely has been getting better. Oh, yeah, I didn't do one. Can you make the from DTO for faction data? Yeah, ChatGPT has definitely been getting better, but I still am very skeptical about the number of jobs. You know, like when everything was happening, they kept saying... They kept saying that Jesus Christ, are you fucking kidding me? That, you know, everyone was going to be out of a job, and I don't, and they're still acting like that, but I kind of feel like it's the same, you know, when blockchain and the web bubble. All right, let's go through this and see what we got here. This is going to be a pain in the ass. Is player DTO, what are we passing in here? Faction DTO, which is what we have. I would prefer this to be called faction DTO, I believe. Because it's just too much DTO. All right, so we have a new faction data. Really, we got to do new faction data every time. Wonder how that's going to work. Well, we couldn't look at it anyway, so who gives a fuck. I was thinking, I wonder how that's going to work, you know, when we look at the remote or whatever, but the remote doesn't fucking work, so who cares? We just have to give up on that. Okay, so for... All right, so for each, this is going to be a huge pain. Was this a... let's also rename this to faction data. So these are the easy ones. We're just going to convert some color from hex back to... Oh, I didn't look if those colors were... Oh, because we haven't assigned the colors yet. We would do that afterwards. So for... We're going to have to bring over... I guess I can't do that. Let's see what research items is. Okay, so research items is a Godot array. And then what did we do? Why are you red? Oh, I must have a thing. I have a problem down here. Oh, did I not copy the whole thing? What? Oh, maybe it wasn't done populating when I copied it. Maybe it wasn't done. Yeah, this is a nightmare. Nightmare of pain. Let's go back. We got to go down through each thing and just fix them. So this is research item data. How are we doing this? We were just doing it by faction or research name, and that looked fine in the save file. So how do we do that though? So we have the for each string name in DTO. I thought I renamed this. Oh, it's because yeah. Because I just fucking copied and pasted. Okay, so we have a new one of these. Can we make you into a bracket? Yeah. So we're gonna go through for each string in this. We already have a list. So the list of all research items is in our auto load. Autoload.instance. All research item data. I'm going to copy this because once again, I'm being ultra lazy today. I'm trying to have no thoughts in my brain at all. There is a list of all of the research item datas here. So are we gonna for each this shit? No, we're gonna for each it once. Man, we have to do this a lot though. Should I not worry about it? I'm always worried about like. We also could do it by like ID, and the ID would be where it is in the list as well. That's the other. We might have to do that because we're gonna be doing this a lot. We just looked at the thing, you know. This is faction data. This is faction DTO. Whoops. Faction DTO. Data. So the problem with big changes like this is you can't test it until you've fixed everything. I guess I could test it. No, I cannot. I'm going to take a quick break though. Yeah, I'm going to take a quick break. We'll fix this. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. Let me pause my music that you guys can't hear. Let me double check all this crap over here. And let me find my break timer. And I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So man, everything sounds so echoey. That was strange. Maybe my echo thing is turned off. Review process? What review process? Review before the video? It's not Saturday. So I've been following this. Oh, for the YAML. Yeah, yeah. What does that entail? Does a human actually look at it? Um, I was just thinking about this thing. So on Reddit, like I was saying earlier, I don't even. Oh, I guess I was on when I was in Crystal Mess's chat. Oh, my break timer's still up. When I was in Crystal Mess chat, I mentioned that I don't even log into Reddit when I look at Reddit, and I must have at some point looked at the Watchmen, from the comic book or the movies subreddit, and I've been following along this Watchmen saga. So the saga is that there's this one person who believes that Hooded Justice, which is like a comic book character, is this hidden other character in Watchmen, this Larry guy. So he thinks that the author hid these clues in Watchmen. And when I first saw it, I read it because it was an interesting argument that, about Watchmen, that this Larry guy was this Hooded Justice guy. But the dude has lost his mind, and he posts like every day a new clue that he's found about it, and it's insane. It's like you're watching the descent of this guy losing his mind as he tries to figure out these hidden clues in Watchmen, and he's going over every single page with a magnifying glass to find clues, and sometimes, what's the saying? Sometimes a vagina is just a vagina. Is that the saying? Sometimes it's just a flower. I can't remember. Anyways, and when I went outside to take my break, there was another post of somebody like trashing the dude, and he needs to get some help. Anyways, it was interesting to see that there's other. The guy replied, of course, and he's getting like he's just crazy. It's man, you could read these like so the first post was really good, and I was like, I think I agree with this guy. The Larry guy is Hooded Justice. And then each post was, and there was a post that I thought was a joke post, like making fun of him, but it was actually him because he was just like looking at these two pictures and he was like, this line, see this line, this line in this panel shows that this thing is true. And it was just like, oh my God, dude, you're fucking crazy. And it also made me feel sad for him. But yeah, I was outside and having a smoke on my break and I saw that and I couldn't help but. Yeah, yeah, no, it was. Anyway, the whole thing is. So what are we doing with this research name? Did I already fix this one? Oh wait, what's going on here? We have two lines of the same thing. Researchable. Research. How are we getting that? Joker. Let's look at our save file, actually. Not that one. I think at this point... we got to go down to, I think they're both empty at this point, but we do need it to, how do we convert, okay, no, we convert them the same way. We convert them the same way. So from this thing, We just call them. We just call it something else, and we do this, and here. But we're gonna put. What are we returning here? This is gonna be researchable. See, this is where I'm worried that we have too much of this crap. Yeah, so we're going to add that to there. It's the same thing. And then counties faction owned. So we do have, at this point, though, I'll leave that there. I was going to delete that, but I think if we don't get done with this. That's JSON. We're coming back from the JSON now. County name in counties faction owns. Load or create county data here later. So we don't have a list. Do we have a list? We haven't. So like at this point, we have a list down here. It's right here. But when we save it, what are we saving? Let's look at our save file again. Is there anything even in this? I think there is, actually. Coward, how's it going? No, the answer is 0. No. We haven't gotten to that part yet. So that's going to be a problem. So the problem is that we don't have it's kind of the same problem of what we did with originally we had the factions listed as nodes. And so that we can't fuck with this, though. We need these to exist because they're actually being used in game. Like, that's what these things are. But we also, when we use the map editor, we create these things and save them to disk. And actually, you know, when I was talking about the path thing, I think it was when we were saving these to disk that the path was weird. I had to do the path weird. So at this point, we do not have a list of all of, well, let me rephrase that. We're saving, the problem, the problems we're solving is we're creating the save system. We're saving it all to JSON. We have one kind of test save game here going, and it's all the factions and all of their information. There's only 4 factions right now. But the problem we run into is that we haven't moved over all of the code to how we're going to do this game generation, basically. And so we don't have the code there yet, but we need the code to be there. So I could move the code right now. Basically, we're just trying to import. We've done the saving part. We can get this file. Now we need to load it. That's the long story short there. I should be using YAML. I don't want to use any plugins. I know you're like, but I wrote that whole thing. Change your own proprietary format. Like I probably should, right? Like just to make it even more confusing. So the key here, so this is converting it basically from JSON to Godot resource type. So that's what we're doing right here. And the thing is, we have like all these embedded lists and shit. So at this point, this is going to break. So this is what we'll do. This is going to break when we move county generation from main to game generation. But it will work for now. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to go by county name, I guess, is how we save this shit. So what we're going to do is we have a list. It is globals, instance, county's parents, get child, children, and then we'll make ChatGPT do it. Once again, I'm being extremely lazy today. This is where the county datas are, except each child is faction, then faction, no, is county, then county dot county data. All right, let's see if I can figure out. I've been very vague today too, and it's actually been. So we'll copy this. I also don't 100% agree with the way it's doing this because I think we're going to have problems. Oh, I got rid of my list, and I guess I need my list here. Faction data. Faction DTO. Data. We'll fix all this garbage, these things in a second. All right, one more. Well, it did have it here. Well, fuck you, it's gone. Next thing. All hero list. So we're not going by, this is a list of ants or some shit. Yeah, this is a list of ants. So these are going to be ants now. And this is going to be hero ID. And so here's the, we don't have a list of the whole population anywhere. At this point, when we're loading this in, and I mentioned this the other day, that I think there might be a better solution where we have lists that are broken. So everything's like a big list that we pull from. And I think that's what we have. We have to have like a list of all of the population. And so let's see. At this point, well, let's look at our save game. What did we save here? It's like just their ID somewhere. I think I'm too far. The fuck is it called? All heroes list. Well, that's all right. Well, we'll look at it anyways. All heroes list. It's empty because we haven't generated them either. I mean, we haven't generated them either at this point. But when we do, so we need to have a save. We need to save all the population somewhere. So with like research, county improvements, shit like that, that is game wise. But when we generate the population, it's random. So there's no place where it's safe. So what we need to do, I guess, this is not going to be easy, dudes. This is what we need to do is we need to save a list of the whole population of everyone in the world first, which means we need to do we have, no, it's by county. We don't even have a list. Yeah, so we're going to have to save a list of every single person. So the reason I'm over here is because we're going to need to create a DTO for this thing. Population DTO. And let's open up this. Let's open up our population data, which is a resource. We're going to copy this thing. We're going to go over here. We're going to say, ChatGPT, can you turn this into a DTO? We have the to do, but we need a from this shit too. What else? What do we got in here? There's gonna be some garbage. Hero subordinates. Store the subordinates ID. So I'm hoping, and I keep saying this like in the back of my mind, I hope this makes multiplayer easier because we have all this serialized data somewhere. We have the ability to create serialized data. So let's copy this. Where's our shit? Close you. Close you. Close you. We might need you. Close you. And then it's funny too because there was a few times I was like, maybe we should use like an ID and just save the ID here. And oh my god, we have perk data that we gotta do it too. Attribute data, skill data, we have 3. Reference by name, ID. All right. Yeah, there's no going back from this either. Like, I mean, there is going back. We just pull the thing, but I think, yeah, I think this is the way to do it. Even though I don't like it. I'm just gonna keep saying that. I don't like any of the options. So let's do our perk. Well, let's put this thing in. Let's get it from as well. Oh my god. Yes. Yes. Crystal, how's it going? Please create the from DTO. I'm being ultra lazy today and it's actually working out. I'm just having ChatGPT do all of this stuff. I was saying, is this a junior developer's job that I've just taken? Or that there's a junior not taken, ChatGPT's taken it. Did we fire the poor guy? This is going to be in population data. Not population DTO, population data. Yeah, that's what I still think that it's like kind of overblown with oh, it did it the weird way. It did it the weird way. Well, this we need. I told it I liked the other way too. Yeah, so then I also was wondering if like interns get paid for programming jobs. Yeah, it asked me. No, why didn't it make this? Where's our other DTO? Public static. That's the from DTO. Public. I'm gonna bring this over here. But yeah, I still don't think it's as over. You know, everyone's saying that it's like that. Come on, come over here. It's the end of the world for everyone. But I think it's still overblown. I think they keep I think CEOs want more money, want to make more money and pay less people. So we want to go to the 2 DTO over here. I'm just comparing these to make sure that these are return. Why does this look like this? There we go. Population, 2 DTO. Man, this is a fucking pain in the ass. All right, this did look the same. Oh, I think it's a disruptor, 100%. And I think that, but I don't think that like as many people are going to be out of a job because remember like every time anything's happened, they've any type of technology like with blockchains, they're everyone's gonna be rich and everyone's gonna be out of a job, rich and out of a job, and then it like didn't happen. And I guess that's right. So what is your problem here? Let's see what this thing says. Insert matching type arguments. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is so we don't have, this is the problem is we don't have the to do. It's probably going to be a massive filter. Karen, sorry, the dictionary, the AI. Yeah, I worked at a video store when I was 18. I worked at Blockbuster, then I worked at another video store. It was great. But yeah, that was a death sentence that was obvious. But think of like music, downloading music. I guess that killed stores, but they still make money. And like books, digital books are crazy expensive. There are people who are so dependent, so Crystal was showing that on his stream. And I still don't understand what those guys were doing. Where they had the 4 agents, like what were they making? So I don't know. Like Crystal knows more than me about that, what they were doing, but it looked like they were creating something with 4 AI agents, but they don't know any coding, from what I understood. And I don't know what they were creating. I was more trying to figure out what they were creating. Like, what were they creating? A website, an app? Like, okay, so we're now at the, we need, see, every time we do any of these, we have 6 steps ahead of time. Oh, they're creating like a Discord bot. Well, that one guy came. Oh, they were doing stock trading. So this is I don't have data on this, but so one of my friends said it's not his kid, but it's like almost his kid. It's his nephew or something. He died, but unrelated. But at the time he was alive. So his nephew was like trading online with a fake bot. Like it was a fake stock market that was the same as our current, as a copy of the stock market. And he was like, he started out with like $10,000, and he's like, at $1 million, I should have been doing it with real money with these bots. And I was like, I would double check what he's saying. I feel like there's no like, because I don't believe it. I don't know. Like if it was that good, then everyone would be doing it with real money, type of thing. But those guys were those 4 agents. All right, we're gonna do this while we're gonna be all over the place. It's gonna be we're gonna be doing this for days. We need this perk data to be converted as well. Can you convert this perk data to a DTO as well? I know I'm asking. I should just tell it. Just do it, you piece of shit. We gotta do another one of these. Where am I going? I mean, if Oh, he has 4 agents developing a Discord bot for trading stocks. Why use Discord for that? That seems like strange. Huh. Well, you know, how successful is he? Does he have real money on it? Because another thing is, occasionally I'll play online poker with fake money, and with fake money, it's just doesn't have the heart pounding death feel, you know. But I'm not going to play with real money because I'm not a dumb shit. Perk DTO. Oh, right, the Discord. Yeah. Okay, so he's currently it's not good, but hopefully in his mind it will be better at some point, I assume, right? Huh, it just stock trading is specifically because it doesn't make sense. In the next few years, I bet it's going to be more value to be able to rewrite code than it is to write something completely new. I could see that. I could completely see that. Why you read? It's going to be one of those things. So where they're hiring people to go back and refactor the garbage that was put out. I swear to God, I saw a news article about the most recent if I could type, rollback update AI code. The most recent Windows update was, I read 40%, but I read an article and I couldn't find it. But so they recently, like the most recent update that they released, they had to roll it back. And then I read an article that said that 40% of the code for that update was written by AI. And the reason they had to roll it back is because they tested the code with AI tests. And that was the thing I read, but then I couldn't find it later. Like, this is just them saying that there was a mistake. Not because I looked at this when I was trying to find it again. It was like on Reddit or something. We're back to talking about Reddit and how it's kind of shitty. But yeah, there was something about like it was AI written and they had to bring the real people in to fix it afterwards. And I can totally see that. We're going to go back. We're jumping all over the place, but we're going to copy this. And we got to put this in our perk data. But yeah, Crystal, weren't you just refactoring some of your code? I know you wrote your code, but I didn't watch for very long. So I wonder why this one's static and the other one isn't. None of the other ones are. Why did it do that? Oh, we'll put this in here while we're here. And I'm going to ask it why it made these ones static. Unless it told me. Well, they're specific. Whoops. This is when I was talking about the Mac thing. They had to keep it right here. No, they do that. They put it down like that, and I don't understand. They'll put it like this, and I'm like, why don't you just minimize it? I don't understand. Let's just close that one. We don't need it open right now. Where's one that's done? I guess not equipment data. I closed them all. Well, didn't we just do faction data? No, we're in the middle of fixing. No, that's from. We have 2. Sorry, I thought I saw something weird in there when I was scrolling back. Yeah, why didn't they make it static? This one's not static. because you just put the dot to DTO at the end. Why did... why did you make these static? It's going to be like, oh, I didn't. They don't depend on an instance of the class, but they do. No. They don't. It's right. Wait. No, they don't. It's right. Oh, that was full of shit there. You know, it's full of shit all the time. I sometimes find myself questioning people in real life now. Now I don't trust anybody in what they say. It's broke my heart too many times. No, but it's right. This will never be different. These are set in stone. They don't change. There's no numbers. There's no, yeah. Okay, so that makes sense. You know, once I figured out how static worked, because I didn't understand that at all. I didn't understand why there were like some were not static, and then I finally it clicked one day. It was some guy said something in chat, and it all came together. And he's like, "Why don't you do this?" It could have been you. I don't remember. And I was like, "Wait, why don't I do that?" And then like everything came together. And yeah, static is. I was very like, "Oh my god, I could do this. I don't have to do a new whatever, you know, a new perk data or whatever. I could just do perk data with a capital P." Yeah, that shit's great. Okay, so those are static because they don't. That makes sense. Those don't change. And we put our from in here as well. We have no bugs. Okay, so back to our population data. So we need the perks. This is a list of all the perks. We're doing to dictionary. What are we doing? This is to DTO. We're still in the to DTO. We're not from DTO yet. So what is this thing? What is going on here? I'm just going to ask. I'm being so fucking lazy. I'm barely thinking, like I said. What is wrong with this? I'll learn about all the problems later when I have some massive bug. I should have just said, can you fix this? If you really want, I do really want explicit types. So this is the thing that's weird with GPT as well, is some days it's doing a good job, and then some days it's just dog shit. And I can't figure out what the deal of why it's dog shit sometimes. What did I just hit? Oh, I'm hit. What the fuck did I hit? I hit some weird hotkey. Perks. Is it not called perks? I'm in the wrong spot. No, I'm in the right spot. Perks. This is where... Wait, we're still in the 2. DTO. Why is that up there? This is a perk data, all perks, or all enums perks. And it's putting a string. Wait, that doesn't match. What is that string for? This needs to be a string. See, not with capital S. Can I convert instant? What? system collection. This thing is a string perk DTO. This is an all enums dot perks, comma, perk data, right? Not that. Jesus Christ. Stellar, how's it going? What I got? I got a lot of data. I got a lot of data. Yeah, it's perk data. Got a lot of data that I'm converting so I can save something as JSON. So I don't like the I don't like any of my save game options. This doesn't work. I'm just going to, and I'm making ChatGPT do all the work today. And I was saying that it makes me sad because, not that I would be hiring anyone, but this doesn't work. There's probably interns who are getting canned because of this. Why C# instead of GD script, you mean? Because I came from Unity. I want the explicit thing. Why my code is wrong. No, you did that. It didn't work. Yeah, I came from Unity, so I was used to chat. What the fuck? Yeah, it doesn't do this. Oh, it wants a perk data in here. Does it not remember that it just made that static? Why even asked it? You can use C++ too. They have a plugin for it. There's something else that Luau or Lua or whatever it's called. This needs to have a thing in it. It's literally, that's a static to do, or to DTO. This is a static to DTO. You just wrote it. Just use WebAssembly. I don't even know what that is. Good catch. Sometimes it's like uplifting this. I find annoying because it doesn't have any humility. Do I want to program myself? Yes, both. I'm also being extremely lazy today, so this is what we want. There's you're probably one of the dev brain people that I always talk about. So now we're here. It doesn't like this semicolon. What is this extra thing at the end here? What do we got? 1, 1, 2. Why is it putting that? Oh, that's from writer. Language builder. I wish that they did more C++ stuff with it, honestly, because I have a C++ friend throwing an error. At the, there we go. I have a friend who's like a C++ guy, and I asked him some questions, and he's like, "Oh, what are you working on?" And he was kind of seemed somewhat interested with Godot, and then when he found out that you had to use an extension for it, for the C++, he lost all interest because he wants total C++ness, you know. It's just giving me the same thing. We're in one of these loops, you know. It doesn't. I've never like looked at it very seriously. If it's still share the exact error message. The exact error message is it expects a semicolon. Or why do I feel like that's just... I feel like there's something dumb going on. Why would it want a squigs? There's no squigs anywhere near there. I wonder why it went into this style. It wants something over here. What is the deal with it? Maybe it's the next line that's throwing it off. No, this is just hit points. Hit points. Loyalty. Oh, this is going to be a problem because these are getters, setters. We'll have to put like this or whatever. Yeah, we'll have to put like this or something. This is in the, yeah. What does this exact error say? It expects one of these, so we'll give it to it. And then what do you want? It expects a semicolon. There you go. Then what's your problem now? It says semicolon. Yeah, it didn't do this dictionary thing last time. Maybe we weren't converting it to a dictionary. Maybe it's just a list. It's just, this is the problem when you run in, when you run into errors with ChatGPT. It says it expects a semicolon or a squigs. No trailing comma. No comma here. There's no fucking comma there, dude. There's a comma there. You wrote it. Make sure it's inside a method or, oh, what? I thought it could just be out on its own. The surrounding, no enclosed, well, we're not there yet. We have like a huge bunch of shit to do down here. See, and here's another one. It wants it this way. It's weird that are these all dictionaries? Is that what's... Skills, comma, skill data. That doesn't make any sense. I think it's talking about enums. This one... include the exact message and line number. I don't think you're going to be able to help with that, but let's see. Let's put this in here. We'll do this. It's the same error. Same error. Here is the code. So today it was doing good. We did run out of the intelligence questions. Now we're to like where it's even stupider than normal. Change this to a comma. No, well, I thought you said no comma. I thought you said no comma. Oh, what's this thing up here? Is it? Oh, that is there. It was the comma. Okay. This one has a comma. That one has a comma. All right. So this is going to convert, hopefully. We'll see. The problem is they don't have any perks assigned at that point, so it's going to be hard to test. We're also running out of time here. So needs... I got to skip this song that you guys can hear. It's bad. All right. Needs is not a dictionary. Oh, we do counting good type. Oh man, that reminds me. Okay, so for a brief period of time between like 4.1 and 4.2 or something, or 4.4.1 point 4.4.2, in the inspector, where was that? Where's the easiest example of that? The easiest example of what I'm looking for, I think it's county improvements. What were we just looking at? What was the thing that was just giving me a hard time here? Perks? I don't think it was perks. Damn it. What is the perks list here in population data? Where are you, perks? Okay, so this is all right, so this one is what we wanted. So basically, anyways, in the inspector, it wouldn't show the word, the string of the enum, it only showed the number. And that was the whole reason I was using enums, is because I wanted to see the fucking string, because my brain doesn't look at numbers and know that the number 2 perk is whatever. And so I set up some things where I used the perk, or like the perk data.name, like for the string, as how we were doing the dictionary. But they've since fixed it, and you can now see the actual string for the enum. So there was some that I wanted to go through and fix instead of being sorted by the actual, so what I was also doing was I would compare the actual perk data versus the perk data or whatever. Once again with a dictionary. So I'm wondering if that's what we're running into here, is that this dictionary, so attributes must be the enum, but I'm wondering if we're going to run into this where we can fix that. I actually think it's in their county improvements is where I did that. I'm almost positive it's in county improvements. And so we'll have to fix that when we're fixing this. So for this, we also have to make the attribute DTO. So we got to do that. How much time do I have? 4 minutes. We can do the DTO. Where'd my DTOs go for this? So this is gonna be attribute DTO, and we're gonna create that thing. We're gonna open this thing. We're gonna go back to ChatGPT. We're gonna open up our attribute data first. And that is going to be actually up in the resources. We'll probably have to do, we're going to have to do all these. Everything's going to have that. What is this? I was wondering what that was. We'll copy this over. Go to here. Can you convert this to a DTO? And then we'll do this, we'll get this started. We're not going to have time to do it all. We'll go back over here. We're gonna have to do this so many times. And then once again, we're gonna have to remember. Oh, it did this weird extension thing. No, get the fuck out of here. We're gonna put this in data. No, this one changes. This one can't be a static one. We're gonna keep this consistent here. Yeah, this is it's been doing this back. That's why I was like, why is this one static earlier? Is because it has been doing this kind of every once in a while, throwing in some weirdness here. We are in attribute data. We don't need this. Here, just delete. Not end. There's this thing I call dev brain. It's basically this thing, and I have to bring it up more again. And I kind of like stopped talking about it because it's like, why harp on the same shit all the time? But where people like think they're hot shit because they're developers, like it's gone to their head, and they have like these specific way of they have a way of interacting with humans, which is bad. We need to add in player space, and it's weird having to deal with people that have such poor personal skills. And I was just thinking about it because that dickhead in chat. I guess so every like 6 months I have to start bringing it up, and it's just a weird thing that I don't know. Yeah, Joe. yeah. I gotta push this code though, and then I guess I'll raid somebody. This code's all fucked up. What branch am I on, man? Because I don't want to. I'm not gonna push this code to. We made so many changes. Yeah, let's not push this code to. Let's make a new branch, which I've only made new branches on with Writer like 6 times. So, I want a new branch. We're gonna go. This is gonna be called DTO setup. We will check out branch. And then we're gonna push this all critters. I haven't rated him a long time. I have my list now of people and he's not on the list yet because I haven't rated him. I'll rate him. No, he's not on there. I only stream on weekends usually, so it's only a couple of things. But let me started converting all Godot resource files to DTOs. Let's make that capital. Commit and push. And let's go over here. And push you. All right, let's raid somebody. This is done. I'm listening to some absolutely awful music, so it's a joy that I have to pause it because I'm gonna raid somebody. We're gonna raid Critter if he's on here, because like I said, we haven't rated him in a long time, and it was a good suggestion by Joker here. I'm gonna put him at the top of the list here. Critter. Oh, I call him Critter, but this is created by Critter. Created by Critters. He has another name he goes by too, but I can't remember what it is. Created by Critters. Thank you guys. I always start my outro before I'm actually ready. I don't know. Anyways, thank you guys for joining me. I'll probably stream tomorrow. That's the plan, at least. I took the day off today, so I was like, fuck it, I'll stream. Yeah. So thank you guys for joining me. I will talk to you tomorrow. I was like, bye.